You Golden Eagles, you're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm your Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. We've got a great show coming up with some information about Bonnie Stedman recalling her experience in the workforce during the World War II, and Sethany Smith reporting on student use of ChatGPT at USM. But don't touch that dial, because Clarissa Ewell from United Way will share some things that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
USM Campus News. Hoff named Associate Vice President for Facilities Planning and Management at USM. Brian Hoff, a licensed architect with more than 25 years of professional experience, has been named the new Associate Vice President for Facilities Planning and Management at the University of Southern Mississippi. Hoff will join the USM team on April 3rd. Hoff comes to USM for Evangel University in Springfield, where he served as Director of Facilities, managing on-campus construction projects, as well as supervising daily operations, including maintenance, custodial, and grounds personnel. USM student named finalist for Polymer Physics Award. University of Southern Mississippi graduate student Sean Chow was recognized as a finalist to compete for the Frank Patton Award in the American Physical Society under the Polymer Physics Division. The Frank Patton Jr. Award is a prestigious honor presented by the Division of Polymer Physics of the American Physical Society. The award recognizes exceptional research contributions and accomplishments in the field of polymer physics. It is named after Frank Patton Jr., who is a pioneer in the field and a former APS president. In Hattiesburg news, City of Hattiesburg to hold a public hearing Friday for 2023-2027 consolidated plan, 2023 annual action plan. A public hearing of Hattiesburg Community Development Division 2023 Consolidated Plan and 2023 Annual Action Plan has been scheduled for Friday. The City of Hattiesburg announced on its Facebook page that the public hearing will take place at the Jackie Dahl Sheriff Sherrill Community Center at 11 a.m. The Community Development Division manages projects funded through the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development's Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership, which both intend to benefit low to moderate income citizens and households. Free health screenings are being offered in Laurel tomorrow. South Central Health Care Foundation will host their free annual community health fair Thursday morning. The health fair will last from 9 a.m. until noon at South Central Place in Laurel. Screenings of all types are possible, including those for anxiety, blood typing, blood pressure, and more. Everyone is encouraged to come out, but most screenings are angled for those of 18 or older. In Mississippi news, Reeves vetoes health insurance bills that experts, watchdogs say would help consumers. Governor Tate Reeves last week axed two health care bills that passed the legislature with bipartisan support, and the health experts say could improve health care. Senate Bill 2622 would have sped up the prior authorization process, which insurance companies use to tell providers whether a drug or procedure is covered for certain patients. Reeves said while the bill itself was a good idea, he referred vaguely to mistakes in its language, including the administrative hearings were in an incorrect place in the bill, and what he said would be increased costs for Medicaid as his reasons for vetoing. Transformative mental health bill awaits governor's signature and the funding. A bill passed unanimously by the legislature is expected to bring some reform to Mississippi's long-troubled mental health care system, which often strands people with mental health issues in jail with long delays in treatment and has been under scrutiny from federal authorities for years. House Bill 1222 provides solid solutions to national mental health issues and is so transformative that it could be a very strong model for other states to implement, said Dr. Catherine Pennell, a physicist, a psychiatrist. president-elect of the Mississippi Psychiatrists Association and longtime Mississippi mental health advocate. In national news, miniature horse leads police on 2-hour chase in Alabama. An escaped miniature horse spotted trotting loose in Alabama led police on a 2-hour chase before being safely corralled. Police said the horse led officials in a low-speed foot pursuit for about 2 hours before they managed to capture it. The department jokingly posted a mugshot for the mini horse, which they dubbed Genuine in honor of the pony singer. The mugshot said the horse was booked on charges of resisting arrest and disorderly conduct. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277, and the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now on to your sports. Baseball student tickets are now available to be claimed for each home game this weekend versus Georgia Southern. These tickets will be claimed fast. Baseball tickets will be available to claim on a first-come, first-served basis, utilizing your online account. Track and field on the road to Tallahassee. For the first time since 2018, the Southern Miss track and field team travels to Tallahassee, Florida, to compete in the Florida State Relays at Mike Long Track on Thursday and Friday. We'll witness some of the South's strongest competition, so the challenge is high. Gaining momentum is crucial at this point in the season, and our kids are up for the task, according to the head coach, John Stewart. The Golden Eagles are coming off their first outdoor meet of the season, where 3 on the men's side found event wins and 2 on the women's side. To keep up with all the Golden Eagles sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. Now on to your weather. When we started this week Monday morning, our temperatures were in the mid-20s, and now we're heading into a second afternoon in the 80s this week. That won't even be the end of it. Then, since Friday, we'll continue our trend of hot and muggy highs. But after, we'll finally start to see some change slowly. Let's talk about the severe risk for tomorrow. The SPC did elevate the overall severe risk for this front to level 4 moderate, but not for the Pine Belt. It is close by, though, as the end of the level 4 area stops at Jackson. They also tightened the level 3 enhanced risk up a little bit, pulling it into our northwesternmost counties. That keeps a level 2 slight risk over the rest of the area. This puts us in a similar situation to the last storm front that came through, where it's expected to peak to the west of us and weaken as it passes through. With the addition of the level 4 nearby, that keeps a concerning amount of energy to close for comfort. So as always, we'll stand on the side of caution as it approaches. Saturday will clear nicely after a few sunrise showers, but the sunny skies don't stick around and rain moves back in quickly. Up next, we have Bonnie Stedman recalling her experience in the workforce during World War II. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Working nights at a remote train station could be a dangerous job. Bonnie Stedman recalls her unusual protection.
Sometimes I got really afraid because I would be sitting out in the middle of an oil field in a little office by myself. So I went to the Woolworth store and bought a little wooden pistol for a dime. It was made of wood, but that was my protection. And I never will forget one night, north of Brookhaven, there was an office. You had to throw a switch for the trains to sidetrack. And one girl could not do it alone, so they sent 2 of us. And we rode up on the Panama Limited and got off before daylight. And this group of men that had been drinking or something kept passing us, and she was scared to death. And I kept telling her, I said, do not be afraid. I've got my gun with me. And she said, if I had as much faith in that little piece of wood as you do, I would never be afraid.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was Bonnie Stedman recalling her experience in the workforce during World War II. Coming up, we've got a special guest that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Join Southern Miss Radio on Sunday mornings from 6 a.m. till noon for Sunday Brunch. You'll get jazz and swing music from artists as wide-ranging as Bix Beiderbecke to Brad Mehldau, from Dippermouth himself to Esperanza Spalding. But relax, you don't need to know anything about the music to enjoy it. It's a great way to wake up on Sunday morning. Sunday Brunch from 6 a.m. until noon on Southern Miss Radio.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Clarissa from United Way. Hey Clarissa, how are you?
Hello, how are you? I'm doing well.
I'm doing pretty okay. So for anyone that doesn't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know that you were here just like a couple weeks ago, and I'm sure everyone recognizes you, but just in case.
I understand. My name is Clarissa Ewell, and I am the volunteer director with the United Way of Southeast Mississippi. That's me. Was that enough?
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, okay, all right.
And also, I know that you've probably gotten this question millions of times, and we already talked about it before, but can you tell us a tiny bit about United Way?
United Way is one of the community agencies that basically make sure our partner agencies help meet the needs of our community. We act as a, I guess, a pot, and then like we pour into partner agencies in our area with financial resources to help them meet the needs of the community, whether that be reading, financial stability, health-wise. That's what we do in the community. In a brief summary, I think I did a good job.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Okay.
All right, April 1st. The marathon.
That's why we're here.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I'm sure if anyone that listened last time, they already heard the entire fun conversation that we had. But
just in case you
just
forgot.
in case,
That's
of
why
course.
I'm back.
Tell us a
refresh
little
you.
bit about that marathon.
Okay, so the Hattiesburg Half Marathon is a community collective event with people such as the United Way and the Pine Belt Foundation. They sit on the steering committee. And basically the whole purpose of this charitable event is to put, I guess for lack of better words, money, right? We raise funds. Runners sign up to run. They also sign up to raise funds for those charities.
Right.
We have 12 charities that are being supported this year, and those funds basically we match them and we make sure that those funds get dispersed. And anyone who donates, that money goes into that charitable organization, if that makes sense. So it's just a fundraising event.
Yeah.
And it's fun, and it brings everybody together. It brings people from all over the country.
Yeah.
So my part in that is making sure we have volunteers.
Right.
We're going to have people who are going to run, but we need to make sure we have people that can help them literally finish the race. And when
Absolutely.
I say literally, like we're not moving their arms and legs, but we're making sure they have proper nutrition by giving them water. And goo is something that's called goo, and it basically helps to give them more electrolytes and amino acids and all that good stuff. Yeah. And then we give them banana because that has potassium. Yeah. We want them to continue to build up their energy so they can finish the race. Right. That's just a few of the stations that we have. But we have two major turns, the 5K turn and the 10K turn. Yeah. And we don't want people to get lost in the neighborhood. Right. And we also don't want half marathoners really upset with us because we didn't tell them which way they needed to turn on the route. Like, it's time to turn around. And we also don't want the 5Kers on a half marathon ride. I don't think they'd make it because that's something you have to prepare for, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so essentially that's the biggest part of the race is making sure we have hands and feet to help our runners get through the course. You can sign up with local charities if you want to. That's hberghalfmarathon.com.
Right.
You'll go on, you'll see a list of the charities that are a part of this year's marathon. You can also donate to that charity, or you can sign up with them directly and be a cheerleader. You stand on the sideline and you just yell out encouraging words.
Yeah, I remember last time that we talked that it was all the runners that like are pushing themselves forward, and it's just reaching that point where it's like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I woke up for this, and then you go, you can do this, this is nothing.
And you know, one of my things I say, this is light work.
Exactly.
This is light work. You got this. You eat these 12 miles, 13 miles for breakfast, okay?
Right.
You can do this. And they usually don't expect it, and it gives them a chuckle and they laugh.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just nice to have someone out there encouraging you along the way.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the runners even signing up for doing this, right?
Yeah.
It's not just, I think most of them, of course, they probably run as a part of their lifestyle.
Right.
But the fact that they chose to come here to Hattiesburg, like, this is going to be impactful for so many people in the community. So many of the businesses here are going to benefit because that's dollars.
Right.
Anyways, I'm talking about something that I'm not even here to talk about, but that's a little plug, okay? Volunteers. As of right now, we really need 175 volunteers, and I think we're about halfway there.
Oh, wow.
I really can't stress the importance of showing up. Right. And we, like I probably said this the last time, we remember those people in our lives who showed up, right? They may not have been there all the time, but we remember when we needed them, they showed up for us. So I need volunteers who are going to say, yes, I'm going to show up.
Right.
I am going to do my part. I'm going to be available, and we're not going to keep you all day.
Right.
I promise we won't keep you all day, but we will need you there
before
the sun rises, and that is at 6:30.
Right.
We need you there at 6:30 on April 1st. We need you in, and, you know, you'll have your shirt and your lanyards and your packets and your waivers. All that stuff will be received on March 31st.
Yeah.
So that's the day before. We will be at 308 Newman Street. That is the location for the Hattiesburg Train Depot.
Right.
You will come there on Friday between the hours of 10 and 7. You will sign in. You will get all of your race day material to make sure you're on the right route. And then you'll also, of course, like I said, sign your waiver.
Right.
That'll be a time for you to ask questions. We'll also provide you with a map. That map will tell you where you can park.
That's very handy.
Very important. So that'll be on the back side of that. So that's day one before we actually begin the races. March 31st at the Hattiesburg Train Depot is where we're going to need volunteers to come and check in, right? So I think that's pretty much the gist of it, but like I said, we're only halfway there, so we really need people. If you have a daughter or a son or a small group of children who would like to participate, we will take them. We will sign them up. We just, of course, ask for a chaperone, but we will put them somewhere and allow them to get that opportunity to serve and that experience.
Yes.
If you have a group of kids and they just want to come out and scream, that's fine too. That will get someone's attention for sure, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for. Water stations, turns, refueling stations, after party. I forgot to mention the after party.
Right, the
this
fun,
is where we get to celebrate and eat.
Right.
Who doesn't like to break bread?
Exactly.
And I want to say it's free. It's free to the volunteers.
Yeah.
So you will get a shirt, and you'll also get some food. We're gonna have a couple of vendors out there, some small local vendors out there who will be giving out food. Absolutely. So that's just a time where we'll be able to say thank you to our volunteers as well.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate you all. You are literally the backbone of this entire event.
Yeah.
And if anything, if you can come out and just show us to be Hattiesburg strong. Let's show some good Southern hospitality to these people who I know are coming from all over the country to participate here. And we just want to make sure that they make it to where they're supposed to be on time.
Right.
whether that's a 5-minute mile, which is pretty fast, or a 15-minute mile. At the end of the day, we just want them to finish, and we want them to have a pleasant experience.
Right, absolutely. And it makes sense to need like all these volunteers, and for everyone that's listening, because I know that I was reading online about like the cap being like 1,500 runners or something.
That's a lot of people.
Is that the normal for this type of thing, or is this like a new record? Or
from my understanding in past years, the cutoff has been 1,500.
Wow.
Now, it could probably get bigger.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of moving parts that I've learned that people have to come out here and actually run this entire race and check boxes and make sure it's appropriate. So as far as the logistics side, I'm not sure, but I do know that they've been capping it at about 1,500. And the last time I checked, we were in the meeting. We had at least 1,100 people have signed up to run.
1,100.
1,100 people will be in Hattiesburg.
Wow.
Coming down Hardy Street, traveling through USM, coming down the Trace. Now, some of those people have done the 5K walk.
Yeah.
Or some of them have done the 10K. But they'll be in Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
They're going to be here. They're going to eat. They're going to sleep. And then they're going to go home. But while they're here, we want to take care of them and make sure they get where they need to get to.
A perfect opportunity for runners and for volunteers.
Yes, and if you want to volunteer, the address is hberghalfmarathon.com. That is hberghalfmarathon.com. Okay? Throw a slash on there, because I forgot that, and put volunteer. And if you don't put the slash, you'll see the link above that says volunteer. Fill out that form. Yeah. And we will get your information and we will get you signed up. There's going to be a box on there that asks you what your t-shirt size is. You can check it. We already ordered shirts. And our shirts are going to be available. They're nice shirts too. And our sponsor, just want to say thank you to Hattiesburg Clinic. There you go. And our charity run sponsor this year is Raising Cane's.
Oh, that's nice.
We have a lot of sponsors, and I probably shouldn't have said those names, but I did. It's okay. Thank you to all of our sponsors, but most importantly, thank you to our volunteers. Yeah. And that's all I got.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Unless you got some more questions for me.
Oh, yeah, I've got something else. So it's just such a lovely moment to be able to unite people that are not originally from the Hattiesburg area within the runners, and be able to have people that are in Hattiesburg to be able to volunteer, but also to contribute to wonderful causes in the organizations that work. Because like I was reading a bit, and like some of them that I know of is like the ARC Southeast Mississippi Domestic Abuse Family Shelter, Dream of Hattiesburg, the Family YMCA of Southeast Mississippi, and the Southern Pines Animal Shelter. And those are all wonderful organizations. So it's like this moment isn't just helping out those runners, but it's helping out everyone.
Absolutely. It literally is a community collective. And every part has to contribute, and every part does supply something. And so if you live here in Hattiesburg and you're available, or you live in the surrounding areas, you coming out and volunteering is making sure that these runners return, right? They return on a good note, because this is going to be something that happens in the future. And if I'm on this course and I don't know where I need to go, or I'm not getting the proper assistance I need, then I may not join in the future. Then that means that's resources, that's money, that's being missed out on for these local organizations who really need it. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's a team effort. If you want your communities to be better, then if you can contribute, and if that means you only spend an hour or two on a Saturday morning, I know that's probably your only off day. But this event only happens once a year. So let's make it happen with a bang. Let's shake the streets, but not break them, though. Anyways.
Well, thank you, Clarissa, for coming on today and providing a voice for Eagles. And for anyone that's interested, and for everyone listening, visit hberghalfmarathon.com/volunteers to sign up. And mark those calendars for April 1st. Thank you so much, Clarissa, for stopping by.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you. Coming up, we've got Stephanie Smith reporting on student use of ChatGPT at USM.
Administration and faculty across the university are concerned about the academic integrity among students and the use of the new AI, ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence tool that helps students complete and answer writing assignments with no effort. ChatGPT, released in November 22, is now gaining a lot of attention from faculty and staff members here on campus. However, the University of Southern Mississippi's Office of the Provost is in the process of handling the use of students using ChatGPT.
Right now, we haven't considered it. I think individual faculty are concerned that students might use it in their coursework, but of course we have an academic integrity policy that says they shouldn't do that, and we have a student success office that monitors that. So I think right now it's being handled through the Associate Provost Office, and it's not really on the agenda for the Faculty Senate at the moment.
ChatGPT is also a tool that pulls information written by others and forming a generic response to the question given.
I think the major concern by many people is that ChatGPT will be abused. It will be utilized on college campuses to submit assignments, and I think that concern is very legitimate. I also think that if you have played with ChatGPT, you can very quickly identify its shortcomings. It does not understand truth. It works based on word probability, so it knows that there's a high probability that the word domestic follows gross, and the word product to follows domestic. So it uses probability to construct writing or creatively.
If you would like to try ChatGPT, please use with caution, as this goes against academic integrity policies. For more on this story, please visit sm2media.com. I'm Sethany Smith reporting for SM2 Media.
That was Sethany Smith. Thank you for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to Shania Williams, our audio engineer, and Devontae Anthony, our video producer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to the assistant manager, Kelsey Bolden, as well as our assistant producer, Jalen Pagan, as well as our executive producer, Miss Whitney Howard, and our GM, Dr. Wilbur Martin. I'm your Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. Stay golden, Eagles.
Sponsorship comes from Southern Beverage, your local Michelob Ultra distributor. Michelob Ultra has significantly fewer carbs and calories per serving if you are watching those in your diet. You can reach Southern Beverage by phone at 601-268-9111, or you can find them on the internet at southernbeverage.com. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri, and Southern Beverage ask you to please drink responsibly.